I'll have her eyeball when she's done with it. Won't be long now.
The rat hisses at you with sibilant malevolence.
Carry on then, stink beast. Don't let little old me distract you from your very important stink business.
A fly buzzes around the dwarf's mutilated head. For a moment it lands, crawls across his open eye and takes off again. The silent watcher does not blink.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me!
A Magister guard approaches. Behind her, on the gallows, 2 lizards. One in a Magister uniform hangs dead from her neck. The other hangs from her hands, still alive.
Step away from the prisoner! She's hanging by her hands because the boss don't want her dead just yet. She's a tough one, Meister Seaver. She's a seeker, and she's a bloody traitor. What have you heard? Have you heard that they killed our beloved Alexander?
Do you even know what they've done?
She was part of the Order. Knew Alexander personally. Alexander trusted her, at least as far as you can trust a lizard. To repay that trust, the Meister gave Alexander up to his enemies. She wasn't there when Alexander fell, but White Magister Raymond uncovered the truth. She's as guilty as any of them, and I reckon she got off lightly. I'd have had her flayed alive with a salted bullwhip.
Release me!
You're going to... what, now? She betrayed Alexander. I'd sooner die than free her. I have my orders. The prisoner stays where she is, and you can move along.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me!
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discolored. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased... chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there gawping like a mutt at the dinner table. That is certainly your right.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood, and growls.
Melody is unfortunately mistaken. I cannot train you, but I can certainly help you on your path, as long as I am free of this rope. Because along with torture and interrogation, the Magisters found space in their schedules to purge me, that's why. They spent quite some time at it too. Apparently I was a rich vein to be mined, and now I hang powerless as any butchered carcass. They stopped the process just as the last of my power drained away. Just enough to rob me of my strength, but not enough to leave me a hollow sack of flesh and scales. I had hoped they simply wished to preserve my charm and beauty, but no. It seemed Dallas had ordered that I be held until she could do the deed herself. To give it the personal touch, I imagine. Now that you have had that... that delightful little nugget of gossip, perhaps you could do your damn job and let me loose?
The lizard grimaces, shifting awkwardly as she dangles.
I am in intense pain. You are either insufferably cruel or insufferably stupid. Insufferably cruel? How charming. It was obvious, Godwoken. You are whippet thin, implying you've been a captive. Your wrists have seen the sun, but your neck has not, so you sported a collar, not shackles. Thus you escaped Fort Joy. After an escape, any sane creature would rest, but the bags under your eyes indicate you haven't. Why not? You must have been chased. Thus... thus you must have been important. No one important escapes a prison without help, and no one frees sorcerers bar the Seekers. They thought you were worth saving, and thus I surmise you are God-woken. Now, an important person does not come to Driftwood unless they seek someone even more important than themselves, so I further surmise you are here for me and will help me down. Now!
A slow, pained grin spreads across the lizard's face. Her tongue flickers.
Not quite as stupid as I imagined. I am still head of the Seekers, boy. I can taste your sauce. It wafts about you like honeysuckle on the breeze. Now, if you would be so kind, my bonds.
The Meister bares her teeth, stained a deep pink by her blood, and growls.
Melody is unfortunate. Be quick about it before the Magister realizes their prize cat. What are you waiting for? Do it, damn you! If they find out, excellent. Now, if you'd be so kind as to gut that startled-looking Magister, it would be much appreciated. I must secure my home before they do any more damage.
Come to stomp my lights out, have you? Tread lightly. Retribution.
Meet your maker. This again. There's one unaffected egg behind them. Perhaps there's still a chance. Into the dark with you. There you are, little egg.
Baby's gone! Stolen egg! Stolen and gone! Help, 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 help! Transformed! Not a chicky baby anymore! All gone! All gone for good!
She leaps up and grabs the egg with her foot, kicking it under her warm underbelly and settling down upon it contentedly.
Shh! Little beeper baby, Mama's here, warm and here with you again.
She cocks a black eye up at you and winks.
Thank you. I have something for you. Something I buried behind the coop. It's yours. It's yours. Unless some other scratchily poker found it first, of course.
Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
What's this? I found something.
Be grateful that you don't feel the need.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come
The
back.
Magister smiles, but he does not make eye contact with you. He shifts his weight from the left foot to the right.
Thank the Seven I've Aldous to guide me in these times. He allows me to borrow a bit of courage from him when I need. It's true, what you say. My belly's as yellow as a canary, but when the hammer comes calling, you don't refuse. It's only a matter of time, you know? Outside Driftwood, not even the sharpest blades can protect us from those things. Inside, a Magister killer roams. Our numbers dwindle. I'm hardly fit to protect. I only hope to survive. I know they disappear without a sign. Magister Carver's looking into it, but it's been so long since we've talked, a dwarf could have grown 3 beards by now. Farewell.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Are you sure? Them sorcerers from the caravan?
They'd be daft to come back. But as long as there's no sorcerers, there's no void woken. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering. Speak. Driftwood is mostly the same as every other fishing town. It's got the same aroma and the same herds of unwashed dwarves. The void, though, it's closing in. Void woken roam the land and pollute the sea. That they haven't invaded the town it's a miracle.
I wait for the inevitable, whatever that might be.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. Then all hell broke loose. Good time.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom.
Your fish thinks of the void. What kind of rat would sell such filth?
this again. Junk. Junk.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients.
Vapid fiction.
Hope you ain't looking for work in this dying town. Besides, you ain't got the look of a fisher about you, I'll tell you that much.
You'd swear the shark was smiling at you.
You too, Julian.
You'd swear the shark was smiling at you.
That's it. The barrels
You'd
and the chests
swear the
on the
shark
double.
was smiling at you. Raspy gusts of breath wheeze from the creature's badly mangled mouth as he lifts and drops cargo with automaton-like precision.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day. Let's talk. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? Ah, you've met with what's left of Seaver, have you? I'm so very glad you're familiar with my work.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too, rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. My favourite one. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping by my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth. That is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelled on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. A would-be magister has to prove his killer instinct after all. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters. But they do. Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? A mule, a beast of burden. But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course. I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask, and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up? How very heartwarming. One last thing. The Magisters here are diligent men and women. A stranger like you may run into troubles with them. Should this happen, just wave this piece of parchment in their eager little faces. My signature will placate them without fail, I assure you. Adieu and good luck. The Lord Dread awaits. The use of the gallows I pass on to you.
The time has come, my stitched-lipped lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
Left behind like a...
More humans! Just what we needed.
There's a lot of call for the junk you sell, then.
Junk? Why, I offer nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients, and...
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Good day to you.
Much business today?
Not much.
As the Magister's eyes alight upon you, they widen until they are practically bulging out of their sockets. One tremulous finger rises from voluminous robes and points right at you. From her other hand dangles handcuffs.
Ifan Ben Mezd is our living braze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
One eye squints, the other bulges out even further, as if to compensate.
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you. Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mezd.
What did he call her? The hammer.
The hammer. You're wrong. Well, sell, I suppose.
You needing supplies? Wait until later then.
The dog lies there quietly, clearly in great pain.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost. Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you and growls. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but does not bite you. Yet. The dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the pain is gone.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks, man. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude? Master did. Huh? Wait a minute. Master hurted me? Excuse me a minute. I'm gonna go now, but first I have a thing I need to do.
He turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it. That was my livelihood. Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here. No. You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket. He counts the money out and hands it over.
That's your lot. Go on then, get lost, you freeloader. I'm working here. Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. Then get out of the way, cheaps. Penny for a sick dog, people.
I'd give anything.
Well met, friend. Interested in Driftwood's finest catch?
You look down at the cart and see fish with flaking scales, tumours and, in one case, 3 heads.
It's free to look. Just don't touch nothing unless you're going to make my purse jingle. Fair travels, friend.
War's a brewing.
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that in my mind.
You made it back, safe and sound. That's all you got to think about right now.
Easier said than done, Ada.
This big ugly. The water's nice.
Much business to do.
Hello, mister.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister. No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here.
They stare at you in disbelief. Then they start laughing.
You're weird. We're waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon.
He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy.
Fort Joy?
That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's going to find his mum and bring her back. That's right.
I think he's an idiot. And when he gets back, I'm going to tell him so.
This fish is ugly.
Prices could be better.
This again.
I don't care if we tear this place apart plank by plank. We will find him.
If any of you see
You, tell me, have you seen a man acting suspiciously near here? Grey cloak, grey beard, satchel slung over his shoulder? Blast! Well, if you do see anything odd, report it immediately. There is a foul creature lurking in one of these shadows, and we will find him. A sorcerer. He arrived dressed as a tinkerer, but then magisters started disappearing. As soon as we asked him about it, he fled. Who knows what he's done with our divine brothers? He was seen with the effects of one of our company. Not only was he behind her disappearance, he brazenly flaunted it in the tavern. We chased him to this factory, but lost him on the docks. Now, I have a patrol to complete. If you see anything, tell me.
Hair out of place. You tell the magisters. Then we can get them out and...
You see a man, well-fed and wealthy, but stress has lined his face and narrowed his waist. He tries to ignore your presence, fails. He sighs.
See here. I'm very busy. The factory is crawling with magisters, and our shipments to Arks are held up. Time is money. Don't waste my money. What do you want? Fish. This is a fish factory. I'm shipping fish to Arks. Now, please, there's the door. I suggest you use it. When you've been in business as long as I have, you learn that there's a market for everything. You just have to find it. Or...
A dark shadow passes across his face.
Sometimes it finds you. That's privileged information. I have a trade to protect. An excellent point. Well made. The answer to your question is, unsurprisingly, a man in a house. A man in a house buys all the void-tainted fish I can send him.
That dark shadow crosses his face once more. He shivers.
Not that I've ever met the man. Not sure I want to, if I'm honest. When you've been in business as long as I have, you...
Oi! Chris is still the favourite. If I bet against him, I could win big. Or lose it all.
The dwarf peers at an expertly dissected fish, gently poking its innards with his knife.
Fascinating. Most fascinating. Oh, my... no, what do you want? I'm gutting fish. What else? Nothing wrong with taking pride in your work.
The dwarf reaches into a barrel and pulls out a fish. His knife glides through the scales, crimson guts spilling out in its wake. The innards fall to the floor, landing in a pool of dark bile. You'd expect fish to smell, but these reek.
Aye. Your knife needs to be quick and true for these. It's easy to cut off the extra fins, but dancing your blade around the tumors can be tricky. Zord only knows how the boss managed to find a buyer for this muck. But they're heading to Arks, and there's some steady gold heading this way, too.
He runs his knife through another fish and flicks the blade, sending a shower of guts to the ground.
I'd say your guess is as good as mine, except I got the sense not to ask any questions. Now why don't you march on? I ain't been paid to wag me chin.
The dwarf turns back to his work, slicing and disemboweling fish after fish as the blood and black bile mix and swirl around his boots. Looking at the barrel, you see that someone has scrawled Black House on it in paint. You cast your eyes around to see that every barrel headed to Arks has the same inscription.
Here, leave them barrels alone. I told you to take a hike, so scram!
You'd swear the shark was smiling at you. Behind the containers, the fish in one of the barrels shifts slightly.
Please, you have to help me. The Magisters have gone mad. I'm a salesman. I tinker. I fix things. I wonder. I buy and sell books when I can. I had nothing to do with those Magisters vanishing. Please help me. I don't want to die. I don't want them to take me. I just need to get out of Driftwood. I can't risk being seen. But if you can get out of town, I can escape to Arks. Please, I'll do anything. Just don't let them see me. Don't let them find me. Thank you. By Lucian. 7 times divine, thank you. I'll follow your lead. But please, be careful. If the Magisters see me, I'm done for.
There he is! Justice! You found him! Excellent. Now, stand aside.
The Magister steps forward with a smile and draws his weapon.
What? No, you said you'd help. You promised.
You utter fool. Very well, if you want to share his cause.
hackles raised, the dog barks at the sand built up beneath the building.
You're nice, and I'm a good dog. Yes, I am. There's something not right, and that's wrong. It's under the house thing there, and it's bad. I can smell it. Not like this. This smells real bad. This smells evil.
How can you afford this stuff?
Why would you, Lauren? You said you'd get me out.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe. Are you sure? Maybe darkness down there. As long as there's no sorcerers, there's no point wondering. You're fine as long as you don't go wandering.
The dwarf keeps...
Heavens to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Just look at you. Tame owl, eyes of a wolf. You don't come from no farm, I can tell you that. Anyway, tavern's just down the road. Can't miss it. 'Cause that's where all the queer ones go. Clanking dwarves, dozy lizards. I even saw him drag a voidwoken down there in the dead of night. Don't know what's going on in that tavern, but it must be a freak show in there.
Maybe I'm glad I ain't pulling carts of stinking fish round no more. But what's a beast to do if not pull? How can a beast enjoy this, when he's no notion of what his future holds? I'll be spooked till I'm securely hitched up again.
Sister's back. She doesn't feel like playing, but...
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
The Meister turns to you, her eyes wide with worry.
Oh, pardon. I'm so sorry. How could I have forgotten? Thank you so much. Thank you for rescuing me after they had already strung me up. After they had tortured me for days. After they...
She stops mid-shout, descending into a fit of coughing, wheezing and groaning. She glowers at you as she slowly regains her composure.
If we are quite finished with politeness, there is so much to do. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to us.
Junk.
I'll remove that painting from the wall.
Junk. Junk. Rubbish.
It really is quite simple. In the corner there's a painting. Remove it and push the button behind it. Then we may move on to the vault. combination to the vault is 15R 34L, 23R 35R, 9R 16L, 33L 45R.
Now is not the time for a bath.
Rubbish.
I pray my instructions will not be too Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder and push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at